In a small, isolated village surrounded by dark, dense forests, a young couple, Lily and Ethan, receive a strange, old letter inviting them to inherit a mysterious mansion deep in the woods. Intrigued and short on money, they decide to check out the mansion, which had been abandoned for decades. As they drive toward the mansion, eerie signs begin to appear: dead animals on the road, crows gathering in the sky, and shadows lurking just out of sight. The mansion, grand yet decayed, welcomes them with creaking floors and an unsettling silence. As they explore the mansion, they find an old library filled with books on ancient rituals and demonic folklore. There's a particularly haunting book with a warning not to open the abyss. Soon after arriving, strange occurrences begin. Lily hears whispers in the night that seem to be calling her name, while Ethan notices strange symbols carved into the walls of the mansion. Mirrors seem to reflect things that aren't there, and the temperature in the mansion drops suddenly in certain rooms. At night, they hear knocking sounds coming from the basement, but when they check, the basement appears empty. However, they find an ancient, heavy door in the basement floor that leads further underground. Every time they go near it, the air becomes thick, and the whispers grow louder. Unable to ignore the door, Lily becomes obsessed with finding out what's beneath it. She opens the forbidden book from the library and begins to decipher its contents. The more she reads, the more her behavior changes. She becomes distant and paranoid, speaking of a force that's watching them, waiting to be released. Ethan tries to leave the mansion, but the road back to the village seems to have disappeared, replaced by an endless, winding forest. The mansion traps them both as the atmosphere becomes more oppressive, with horrific visions of faceless creatures haunting Ethan's dreams. One night, the door to the basement bursts open on its own, revealing an ancient, bloodied altar with a dark pit in the center. It is the abyss mentioned in the book. From the pit, a low, guttural growl echoes through the mansion. The real horror has just begun. Ethan tries to destroy the book, but Lily is now completely possessed by the dark force from the abyss. She attacks him, speaking in a language he doesn't understand. The house begins to collapse around them as the ground shakes violently. The dark force from the abyss rises, taking shape as a grotesque, shadowy figure with glowing eyes. In a last attempt to save Lily, Ethan sacrifices himself by jumping into the abyss, hoping to seal the evil within. The shadowy figure fades, and the mansion, now silent, falls into ruins. Years later, new travelers stumble upon the ruins of the mansion. Among the rubble, they find the old book and a strange whisper in the air warning them: the abyss is never truly sealed.